Genshin Impact 5.8 is coming to an end soon, and with nodkrai on the horizon, I wanted to take some time and talk about my thoughts about the current state of the game. As you might have guessed, I did in fact record this before nodkrai came out. I wanted to release the video earlier too, however, procrastination is king around here, and we're here now. Nevertheless, I still want to offer my opinions on the game in this here video. And now, back to regular business. Hello, if you don't know me, my name is Avery, and normally I play Honkai Star Rail on this channel. However, I have been a long-time Genshin player since January 2021 when the first Ganyu banner was active, and then shortly after Shao released, who was my first limited 5-star character. I am telling you this as a perspective of where I started, at a time where physical Xiangling was a meta build, Diluc was a top DPS, and Qiqi wasn't the meme she is now. Over the years, the game grew, improved, and changed to the giant it is now, with quite a lot of meta changes, ups and downs in world building and storytelling. To me, Genshin Impact is the first gacha game I played, with a rich and complex world and characters and stories that I adore. A slight spoiler alert here, if you are not completely caught up with the story yet. With that in mind, the story of Natlan had its moments. The war against the Abyss was the clear highlight for me during the Archon quest, where our choices actually mattered, and I could genuinely connect to the people we interacted with, and felt the sadness and grief with every Saurian and person we lost, but at the end, we were still able to come together, the 6 heroes, the 6 tribes, Capitano and the Fatui even, and I was able to feel triumphant when we pushed back on the Abyss. On the other hand, the final battle had some moments where I felt like, yeah, we are meeting characters we interacted with, and that's nice, but why is Mavuika and the Traveler the only people here? When the clear theme of the Natlan Archon quest was companionship and teamwork, and then BAM! Only Mavuika and the Traveler can do this? Like, huh? That is like the complete opposite of what was previously established. And I'm not even talking about the fact that Traveler was already retconned again as the savior of Natlan. At this point, Hoyo clearly has no idea what they are doing with the Traveler, if that wasn't clear before. Anyways, there are very good videos breaking down the storytelling and themes of the Archon quest that I recommend watching. I don't want to go too deep into it, so all I will say, it's not my fave when it comes to Archon quests. We did get to revisit Mondstadt again, with a story that significantly pushes forward the overall story of Genshin in quite a few ways. We got interactions from Warka, the Hexen Circle played an active role in testing Albedo and the Traveler, and Durin's revival and Mini Durin gaining a new humanoid form. We also got Lantern Rite with beautiful visuals and arguably better storytelling than the final act of the Natlan Archon quest. Just saying. And the latest addition, my boy, Bennett, getting a huge lore drop in the Easy Breeze Holiday Resort event. Overall, I still think Genshin's story is good. When it's good, it is actually great. And when it doesn't quite know where they want to go, it is kinda meh, but still okay. My biggest problem with the current state of the game is the characters and the balance of combat. We are back again to Mavuika and character power creep. Actually, Natlan characters and the Night Soul mechanics made the game quite particular when it comes to balancing, and with the power scaling higher and higher with every new version and released character, the endgame difficulty is getting harder and harder to keep up with to a lot of casual players. I myself have a decently well-invested account. The newest endgame mode, Stygian Onslaught, still gives me difficulty clearing, and I am not talking about dire difficulty here. Imaginarium Theater is a more quantity over quality check, but still you need decent builds on most of those characters, so another long stretch for new or casual players. Spiral Abyss, if you ask me, was never worth the effort. So for quite a while, I wasn't even tryharding to 36 star it because the rewards for it weren't and still aren't great. For a while now, we had this trend of slow power creep where the endgame content was favoring the current banner characters, but you were still able to get by with earlier characters who did similar things sometimes. Nowadays, the HP inflation though is so bad that unless you use the newest meta teams, good luck hyper-investing in other teams. Yes, it is possible to clear with non-meta teams, but that is no reason to dismiss the fact that it is becoming a problem. To me, it's a feels bad man moment where I feel like the game is actively punishing me for choosing characters I am excited for, like their design or their gameplay, and not going for meta-breaking units like Mavuika and Skirk. When Mavuika came out and I first tried her kit, it felt clunky and it just wasn't fun for me, so I didn't pull for her, even though I knew how strong she was. And then we got the infamous combat event that was dubbed the "Did you pull for Mavuika" event? And while yes, it was mostly for a cosmetic reward, many players felt it was kind of unfair. Version 5 for me was a time of burnout. I started my journey as a content creator with Star Rail, another Hoyoverse gacha game, and I had this weird feeling of discontent towards both games, but couldn't really figure out why. As time went by, I realized that while I enjoyed the game and had a love for their worlds and characters, the gacha mechanics and constant FOMO and rise in difficulty was building a certain form of resentment. With Genshin, it was the release of IFA that had me very, very frustrated. And sometimes to this day, I feel like Hoyo made very questionable choices, if not outright sabotage the character intentionally. Looking at Hoyoverse making decisions and game optimizations while completely ignoring things that the player base was actively asking for a long time felt even worse. Don't get me wrong, the addition of Sanctifying Elixir and Dust of Enlightenment were good steps, but artifact presets are still nowhere to be found, just to mention a specific. All of this just made it a little hard for me to be motivated to play. I wasn't exploring much. I have many quests piled up in my logs because it wasn't as enjoyable playing the game as it was before, to the point where even longer running events I have left for the last few days to do. It was only recently that I rediscovered my love for Genshin with the latest summer event. Some people loved it, some people were pretty neutral about it. I enjoyed it very much. Not sure why, but the Easy Breeze Holiday Resort event just hit the right spot. I was excited to play the event and learn more about Benny, and later on Enjo, which was unexpected but not unwelcome. I had a blast with the exploration of the islands and the little stories unfolding. I was genuinely having fun and enjoying myself to the point that I went back and did more story quests I have abandoned before, like the volcano quest with our little Saurian buddy, and revisited previous regions in Natlan to explore, like the foggy island of the shore from the Flower Feather clan. For now, I am looking forward to the new region with cautious optimism. I am excited to see where the story goes in Nodkrai, hoping for a better realized story than what we got with Natlan. Similar in quality to Fontaine, maybe. We have some long-awaited characters coming as well. We are meeting new Harbingers, finally meeting Grandmaster Warka and Alice, with Albedo and Wanderer also returning into the story, most likely to assist Durin in some ways, but who knows. In the close future, I am looking forward to Flints, which is another reason I am currently exploring and farming some more Primo Gems. Overall, I feel like Genshin and Hoyo have many things they can improve on still, and I am hoping to see changes that are more positive than negative. Let's be realistic though, with their current track record and direction they are taking, as I said before, I am only cautiously optimistic here. Only time will tell what happens. A few days into the new patch, we are getting new leaks about characters and banners, and so far things are seemingly quite hectic and not necessarily positive. I didn't look into everything myself. I like to go with the flow of these things. However, a part of the community is already getting a little heated with the current information we have. Take that as you will. Not a great sign though. I, on my end, will try not to let the FOMO get to me and the endgame difficulty be a point of this content. Just like before with Spiral Abyss, I will learn not to let it bother me if the characters I enjoy and the teams that are fun to me aren't the perfect match for getting the perfect clears. I will be going for the characters I am excited for and enjoy, and play the story and explore at my own pace without letting the pressure get to me. Which is also the thing I can advise for both long-term and newer players as well. At the end of the day, it is a game, and the point of it is to enjoy it. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. Also, get ready for some more Genshin content here. I do have a few plans and projects I am currently working on. I hope you had a pleasant time. If you enjoyed my ramblings, please leave a like, and if you would like to stay updated with the channel, consider subscribing. And with that, Avery out. Bye bye. Imagine him. Of course it's this one. Mavuika and Squirk. Like Mavuika and Skirk.